Welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. Oh my God, where the fuck is this year going? It's the 20th of January, 2022. So, what better way to crack on by having something very positive? I've got the guys from Spiritually Raw here. Hello, guys.
Hello, Mark.
Mr. Cosmic Suit, how are you?
Mr. Quilted Suit at the moment because I've got hard nipples from the cold, so I'm hiding them with this.
You're wearing it well. You're wearing it well.
You guys are hardly dressed.
It's Florida, man.
I know. It's like I'm sorry. I feel bad for you, Mark, but boy, wearing a coat outside.
How do you say that with a smile?
I know. Wearing a coat outside is bad enough, but having to wear it actually inside the house, I'm feeling for. I feel for you, Mark.
Well, this is Ireland. It's not Florida. That's all I'm saying. I've been in and out. And I'm like, plus I've lost loads of weight in the last 3 weeks. And
That's fantastic, man. Oh my gosh, your face! All this you look fantastic.
Thank you. Well, the thing is, when you lose weight, you feel the cold.
Yes, that's true.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
No, well, that's a great. Hey, listen,
run with that.
That's worth it.
Run with it.
Sure.
Run with it.
So we were chatting just beforehand, saying how fast this year's going. What the?
Yeah.
Insanity. It's like blink, and we're at January 20th.
What do you think, brother, man? Do you think we hit the vortex that everybody's been talking about? I feel kind of I think we're there.
Major changes in energy, and everything is happening super quick. Yeah, it's happening so quick I can't even describe it.
It's literally God's speed.
Yeah.
Or God is speed.
It really is. And I'm not really, man, like everybody looks younger. Everybody seems to be like that are doing this. They look healthier. They look vibrant. The ones that are tapping into what they were, we've talked about helping them get tapped into. You're physically, I feel like we're physically seeing the benefits of people like that. We're looking at them,
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Well, you two look good from the start. I mean, you always look healthy. So I'm pretty pleased. Thank you for saying that. It's nice. Well, I spent all of last year totally not taking care of myself, just doing my best, but really not actually taking care of myself, and just getting a bit lost in all the work and everything else, and the craziness and all the spiritual attacks, demonic attacks.
Yeah.
Troll attacks. I got attacked at the weekend. My phone, I had to change my number because my phone got hacked, and then they kept depleting the account, and then they said the account was closed for no reason. Then I went to another one that was closed. And my car broke, and then I was just like, I'm always reminded there was a brilliant video I saw about 3 years ago, which was Jesus on a boat going through all these volcanoes and storms, and he's just in the middle, like totally zen, going through like that. And that's how I remember to just try to get back to that, and
exactly
go, okay, this is what you're giving me, okay, I can take it.
That's great, Mark.
That's so it's so great that you're mentioning that, because it really truly is us learning how to cope when these traumatic issues come through our life, whether it's what you're saying, the telephone, or is something, an illness or an accident, a tragedy. It's how you ride that wave out that ultimately is going to determine what's going on in your life, how it is affecting you. And
Christ consciousness is here right now. Like, it's always been here, I think, but like right now it's like in our face. It's ours for the asking. And that's what I think, is what's happening right now, all these things. And it's like, and so when these trials like come up with them, you get a much more stoic way of approaching it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You don't allow it to, like before, I would allow it to really, really get to me. It could even be something minor, but I would get frustrated. And the more that we let go of that and just, all right, I can deal. This is going to pass. Just take a deep breath and it's going to be okay. Everything, your day will just run so much smoother. When you feed into it, it just gets more and more chaotic, and it starts that whole spiral.
Yeah, we're talking about letting go. I don't know if you guys know, but I started we've got 400 people on this course that we're doing at the moment called How to Maximize the Light in Your Cosmic Suit. And I'm doing it with Jeremy Ayres, who's one of the co-authors of the Red Pill Revolution in the UK. We're on day 18. and it's intermittent fasting. It's no caffeine. It's no alcohol. It's pretty hardcore.
Wow.
And
your skin looks so great, Mark.
well, I had to do something because I was, I've been self-destructive for 30 years, and a lot of those things were habits, or so like, at the end of the week, I'd go, yeah, I deserve some wine. I'll drink some wine, and then feel shit the next. And what I've noticed is over the last couple of years is, and it's not, I don't think it's just age either. It's just feeling worse every time and worse every time. And I think for everybody in the world right now, we've got to focus on getting as much of this light into our cells as we possibly can, because then we're making space for all this new information coming in, which is the light codes and Christ consciousness and everything else. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm still smoking cigarettes, but less.
But man,
listen,
that's all right.
You gotta do it. You have to do it at your own pace.
I was
and you're doing it.
I smoked a pack a day, easy. Definitely drank wine. And
you drank more than wine, Jay.
And then,
come on.
But I will tell you what happened. But so that's like I'm 50 now. So I went and hit that 50. I was like,
you're not 50.
I am 50, man. And then
I'm older than Jay.
And
no fucking way.
I'll be 55 in July.
Whoa!
But I'm telling you, what happened was, so I made that decision. Then I was like, okay, look. So I've had great memories, great, fantastic times. Absolutely enjoyed, and no regrets, really. But then when I hit 50, I'm like, okay, there's another phase. I want to let the light codes in. I want to really feel closer to my source. I want to know what it's the journey of life's really about. I want to get there. So that I just turned off that, and now I'm ready for the new ride, man. This is it. So I love it. And I look back at my pictures. You showed me some pictures because she doesn't let me forget. And she's like, look at what you look like when you did that.
Those days very
look
well.
Look at what you look like when you did that. And now, it's like, yeah. So.
And you know what? Honestly, I give Jay a lot of credit because, a tremendous amount of credit, because quitting anything, whether it's cigarettes or drinking, it takes so much mental dedication and fortitude to be able to do that. And you're going on now.
Over 2 years.
Yeah. Actually, this October will be 3 years since you haven't had any alcohol. Yeah. And do you remember when you stopped smoking?
Same day.
Yeah, I think it was the same day.
Same day. And I just was like, yeah, man, I needed to be done for, again, for my for life. You know what I mean? I wanted to get to the next phase of life and enjoy it. And I know, and you're doing the shows, you're talking.
Well, not only that too, though.
What?
You also wanted to improve our relationship as well, and that's
a different show.
But we're talking about something else today. Part of the whole thing, because
it's a totally different show.
Well, it still is. It's all together.
It all.
It's life. It's life.
It's life, man. It's a circle of life. Yeah, man. But it does feel great. Oh, so the smoking I was going to share with you, what really helped me a lot is I did that e-cigarette, and not the flavored ones, just the regular ones. I didn't feel any withdrawal, none of that stuff. And after just a little bit, I just kind of like less and less, and I just was able to put it down with nothing, not even a thought. So that helped me a lot, and I felt like breathing better, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And
you know what else too? You were mentally ready to let it go.
100%,
He was really, really when you get to the point that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you just you're done. You were at that point when you let it go.
Yeah. There's just a better life, man.
Well, yeah, no, I've done it before in the past, and I felt like I was there before, and I feel like there's just like layers and layers to all of this, and what's happened in the last 3 weeks is that healers have popped up and said, right, you need this help. It's like everything's just being looked after, taken care of,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I did a session yesterday with somebody that I've known for about a year, and he just said, right, I've been told you need a bit of this, and it's just like,
that's great.
It's all divine intervention, and the course we're doing with Jeremy, it feels like that was totally divine. The whole thing is just divine.
I love it.
That's wonderful.
I love it, man. It's great. It's great. The biggest thing I will tell you this is my biggest hang up with it was thinking, holy shit, I think I'm going to miss this.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss like my friend. You know what I mean? It's like, because you're in a different, more relaxed place. And, but I thought I would miss it, but I don't, man. And I just don't. I love this like 10 times better. You know what I mean? 100,000 times better, because I'm experiencing, you know, what that source is really like.
The clarity.
The clarity, you know what I mean? And just because of nothing, not like consciously, like the things like I used to do, like I'd eat like fast food, just eat like shit all the time, man. And I just don't eat like, I don't hardly even eat meat that often. And I used to eat meat 4 or 5 days a week, you know, just because I just don't even have that. And it's not like I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stop doing that. It's just all everything was natural. Yeah,
exactly.
I let it do it. I didn't force it, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to force it and shock myself, you know, either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that sucks.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, you know, I didn't want to go through that.
Well, you know, I'm on the train now, so we'll see how I get on.
Mark, that's
it's awesome,
huge.
man. Enjoy it. You look fantastic,
You look
brother.
Amazing.
Sean, I'm gonna blush. Thank you. So listen, what's, you know, it's been about 3 months since we did a show together.
Yep.
What's how's it been like doing shows for you guys? What are the themes coming up, and what's the mood? I know you're in the free state of Florida, which is probably the greatest place on earth to be right now.
Yes.
You know, but what's the mood in America? What's going on? You know, what's the vibe on the ground there?
You know, Mark, it's honestly mixed. And you said it, living in the greatest state that you could possibly live in right now, Florida, it's as open can get. But you know what? When we go into the supermarket, you still see the floaters. They still have the masks on, and they still have, you know, double masks on. And so it's really, it truly is split. And we're seeing the split even more and more now. But here's how Jay and I really look at it. That's not our world. Like, we see people and we see them going, but we just literally, we look at them and like, I'm not going to go there. I'll never go there. I'm not interested in going there, you know? And we've just really taken on that mentality of we're doing everything mentally, physically, spiritually to stay within, literally, I mean, you could call it our own bubble, whatever you want to call it, but that's really what we're doing. We're doing everything that we need to do, Mark, for our own health and wellness, for our own well-being. And we're being the best that we can be for ourselves, so we could be this way for each other, and we could be this way for our son and for our viewers. And it's truly working out great. We just literally put blinders on.
We don't watch the news, man. I'm telling you, we have totally shifted like a lot of like
we never watch the news.
It's like we hear, you know, from people, you know.
Well, tell them about the thing you saw in the
newspaper yesterday. I was at the grocery store and I was just talking to April. I was like, because everybody all of a sudden, because we just are absolutely oblivious to this and our own whatever. I mean, we're just trying to stay healthy, okay? We're just trying to get through life, right? And so, and I noticed at the grocery store, I'm like, everybody's got the muzzle on, like more so than ever. I'm like,
he came back the other day and he's like,
I'm like,
so
hey, I noticed
it's
like it would calm down for a while. And I'm like, look, like 80-90% of the people have it on. I'm like, what's going on? And I looked down at the newspaper, and the cruise ships, which is where we live close to the cruise ships, those were shut down because of something. I'm like, oh, this is wild, right? And so then we didn't know about all of that. So we've been oblivious to all that stuff going on. And I'm grateful for that, because I don't think it's helping us to get zapped in that energy. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, you know what I mean? I want to, and there's a couple of different rides going on. We're just choosing not to go on that one, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, when you said you go in and it's like, is that still a thing? I had a flashback then. I was because I'm in my own bubble as well, and you know, blah blah blah. And some people walked up to the cafe the other day with Marston, and I nearly burst out laughing, because I was like, "What are you doing?" It's like, you still doing this? What's wrong with you people? and they're in a completely different world. I mean, I know we've all been saying this for like a year and a half, however long it's been, but it really is still bizarre. It's still bizarre.
So bizarre.
And you know, I don't think you know, you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, in March." Or, well, first of all, it's January, and then it's February. Now it's going to be March and May of when it's going to start coming down, subsiding. And I from my perspective, Mark, I absolutely do not see it like that at all. I think it's going to continue. They're going to continue these antics, and people, for as many antics that they can pull, and as many people that they can pull into the antics, they're going to keep doing it. I do not see any miraculous wand or person standing up, you know, be coming into the forefront, let's say, that's going to miraculously change anything. I just don't see it that way.
But I think the key is not to feed into the energy either, not to give them the thing. So I think, people say, hey, when they talk to you, they're telling you the truth. They're giving you a spell of sorts, right? It's like a real spell, right? So don't tune into their spell. You know what I mean? Simple. Just don't tune into the spell and try that life on. And I'd even say, just even for a little bit. You know what I mean? No, see how it works out for you. I mean, if you feel like your life's better by not listening to it or watching doom and destruction and, Armageddon kind of stuff, then, see how that works out in your life.
I actually, for the longest time, it would frustrate the living daylights out of me seeing people suffocating themselves.
Especially kids.
Yeah, that is, I think,
that's the worst. That bothers me.
Right.
That bothers me to the core.
That's a different story when you see the parents suffocating their own kids. That's a whole different story. But when adults are suffocating themselves, I used to get so frustrated and I would literally just want to shake people. And then one day I just woke up and I'm like, that's their life. That's their choose. That's their choice. Maybe that's what, just maybe that is their destiny at this time, or when they reincarnated, to help us wake up more and really realize the truth, number one. And then number two was, what was number two? I'll think of number two.
It's interesting. Where we live, there's these two little kids, right? And they're really cute. They're doing the American dream. They have their traditional lemonade stand outside the thing, right? And then I was thinking to myself, and one of them had a mask on, and they're both yelling at cars and stuff
like
right
11.
there. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if that's going to help you with sales. You know what I mean? But the in all seriousness, I was thinking to myself, at that age, 5, 6, 7 years old, the reconditioning of their mind to have to now understand what life's like actually without it, that just sucks, man. To watch that play out and see them have to go through that. That's not fair for them. The adults make their own choices, whatever, but to do that is that's just inherently wrong at every level, I think.
Well, I did a joke about a year ago with Mel K, and I called it the taking off the tight pair of shoes syndrome, because when you the only reason it feels good that you've taken off a pair of tight shoes is because the shoes were tight.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels good, right? But it's all relative. And that's what I kind of imagine that this whole period is being filmed, and there's some school on some other planet, and they're okay class, today we're going to learn about free will. So for the next 2 years you're going to watch Earth, okay? Just sit back, make yourself comfortable. Because that's what it is. It's like a masterclass in free will, isn't it?
I think we make great pets, man. I think we really make great pets. Something.
And food.
Yes,
we must
exactly.
be.
I love being a cow. It's oh man. But one of the things that happened to me last year, which you know about, is that I got like this calling to just sort of go, right, okay, everybody's chasing the intel, everybody's chasing the news, everybody's talking about spiritual developments. Let's get practical. How do we get practical? What do we do to help people out of this? And then I started my course, which was teaching people how to sort of create products and things like that. And then you kind of did the same kind of thing at the same kind of time. And I think this is like in the consciousness. Mm-hmm. And you've finally finished. I know you put a lot of work into this, right? It's called the Secrets to Broadcasting Riches.
There's actually 2 courses, but we've combined them: Spiritual Raw Secrets to Broadcasting Riches and Spiritual Raw Secrets to Interview Riches. So for both sides.
Yeah,
I could do with the second one because I've not nailed that one at all. I just sort of chat to people.
I think you got that pretty tight, Mark.
You're pretty tight, man. I think you got it. I think you're all right, brother.
Well, there's always room for improvement because the best teachers realize that they're students.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I strongly believe that everybody on Earth has something to teach everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if it's just in a bit of wisdom they've passed on. But, I think I also strongly believe that we've got this economy coming. It's already here. It's just that it's going to become more. It's just going to get bigger and bigger, which is about you becoming your own business and standing, because it's all about sovereignty, and it's all about, finding a way of. What is your dog's name, by the way?
There's 3, and the cleaning lady just walked in.
There's a Lola, there's a Luigi, and then there's a Crystal.
I thought you were gonna have 3 L's then. I was gonna do an L joke.
Well, the crystal was an inheritance, so we didn't actually name her.
Yeah.
It should be a French dog. Le Crystal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look,
You got
Crystal.
3 L's. No, I'm just jealous because my kids are going, get a dog. And I'm going, I'm not getting a fucking dog. I've got 5 kids and I'm waiting until this shit's over. I'm no
I
dog.
gotta tell you something, man. I think about
It'll
you. You
make your life actually
absolutely
a little
are
easier.
you are a father of the year. No
I
kidding,
know.
man. Because we talk, just at different off airs and stuff like that, and just your dedication. And I mean, I think you set such a fantastic example for a guy working at home, doing what he's got to do to his family, that just shuts down the world for his kids when he needs to, and that's it, man. That's a great example you set, man. So much love to you for that. For real.
Some people take the piss out of me. I think somebody left a comment on a video that I did a few months ago saying, I can't believe you ended that interview to go make dinner for your kids. I'm like, yeah, because dinner for my kids is more important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. No, that's great. I really do. I admire that about you, man. You do. That's a great example.
But I should also apologize because it does mean that I'm often late for meetings, and I know I was a few minutes late.
Hey, it's all good.
Yeah,
no worries there.
Yeah,
no worries. But getting back to the dog, you need a dog. Get the dog, Mark.
I know. I need a dog. But then I'm thinking, I want to move to the States. How hard is it to get a dog into the States? And maybe I should wait till I get there.
So then I would wait. Yes.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Wait. Did you just say you're moving to the States?
No, I want to move to the States.
Yeah, try it, man. It's great.
Oh, you'll like it here, Mark.
No, I lived in Florida for a year.
You said you lived here. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and I miss it.
We really do have a great governor. I mean, he's great.
I know.
He's really good, and he does not let the businesses mess with the people. If you're a business and you don't get service people for whatever your own personal stuff is, you're going to get fined. So he's reverse engineered that. You know what I mean?
He's reversed it because here, they fine you if the businesses get fined if you don't find people or if you don't stop people coming in. But there, it's the other way around. I mean, I watch DeSantis speak with pure jealousy.
Yeah.
Right. I would too if I wasn't in here.
He really is.
I can't tell you. It's like watching Trump. You watch these guys speak, and it's like, what the fuck have we got?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I've often said, even when I was a kid, I was like, the aliens come down and say, "Take me to your leader." I'd be like, a bit embarrassed about that. Actually, can we go somewhere else?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. He's got to pick himself up a bit.
So let's talk about his course. Tell us the story behind it, because I mean, we speak behind the scenes. I know you've put months and months and months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's years of work, really. But how did you come up with it? What have you done? How have you put it together? What's it all about?
Yeah. You want me to run? Mm-hmm. So cool. So it's 10 years in the making. It's really our journey of broadcasting for 10 years, and we consulted a lot with people on an individual basis on how to set up shows, how to turn it into a proper business, and really make a go at it, right? So we did that a lot. And then you can't, when you get busy with that and people calling, how it is you have to be able to duplicate yourself. So we struggled for years on how do you do a course, and we couldn't figure it out. We couldn't connect those dots. And then last year, we were just like, fuck it. We're going to interview people, and we're going to have a group of people and just do a Zoom meeting and hit record, and let's see where it goes. And that's what we did.
It was very organic.
And that's exactly
totally
what we did.
Unplanned.
And so we took people from where are you at? Where are you at? Like, literally, like, what are your things? Like, what are you going through as a show host right now? What are you thinking? And we literally, when people go, they check it out. They watch them take the journey. They literally watch them take the journey to, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of a name. I'm thinking of I'm trying to position this. How come I'm not making money at what I'm doing? I've been doing this for a while. All those kind of things that go through people's head when they have a show, right? Which is a lot of stuff. So we methodically take groups of people, and there's like 10 people, right? Mm-hmm. There's like 10 people in the thing, and they literally take them through, and you get to watch the journey as we work with them.
And they're short clips, so like 5-6 minute clips.
Yeah. So we did it in a way where they're like 5 to 6 minutes kind of thing like that. So people can, they're bite size, right? So they can watch like a certain segment on something like how to monetize, how to create relationships, how to create your message. You know what I mean? Those kind of things, so they can watch them in that. So we did it that way, and it was great. And again, we had to do it that way because we knew we needed to get that information out, because the God's spirit, whatever, was just not letting it out of our radar. It kept coming back, right? So we did it, and then the next week after we did that, April said, "Hey, now this is how to do how to run a successful radio show." Then the next week, April's like, "Hey, you know what? While we're in the energy of it, before we just make it another 10 years, let's do the Secrets to Interview Riches." And that's designed for those people that come on shows like yours, like ours, and they're talking about, "Hey, I got this new book. I got this new lotion, potion, shake," whatever they want to promote, kind of thing like that, right? That's for those people who come on so they learn how to give their best delivery so they don't mess it up. We teach them how to not mess it up. Make sure that when you're on someone's shows, you got your stuff right. You know what I mean? You are prepared when you got that opportunity, and you can deliver that message, and you can create a competitive edge. So the course is really designed about making sure in today's world, both of them in today's world, that what is your competitive edge, how to define that. Obviously, we talk about it from our experience, from a very spiritual the spiritual benefits of having it is that you can't put a price on. That's the therapeutic benefit. That's the ability to be able to meet amazing soul brothers, sisters, like we're doing right now. That's the ability to be able to manifest things, because you know how it is when we do these shows, man. You're talking it into existence, and I know you experienced that firsthand in yours. It's a beautiful thing. You can't put a price on that. So we talk at that place with them. How do you create this? How do you manifest this thing? Because we've been pretty open about it. If someone's doing a show and they said, "I want to do the show for a business," and they're really honest about that, we tell them, "Look, if you're not really making money within 90 days, then really stop and start over for a minute and think about what's going wrong, because something's going wrong. This is a big world we live in. There's a lot out there. It shouldn't take that long." So we help them through those things.
And also, Mark, we really a lot of people don't realize that our background was not in broadcasting. It was not in social media. It was the exact opposite. We have a financial services background. So when we came into the broadcasting world, we came in as green could possibly be. I mean, the internet, YouTube, social media, Facebook were just starting to launch at that time, and it was all new to us. And all we knew were insurance programs, really, from a computer standpoint. We knew nothing about social media or broadcasting or recording or anything. So there was a tremendous amount of trial and error. And along with that was a tremendous amount of money that was blown every which way to Sunday. So what we've done now is literally cut all the fat out, taught people what not to do, how to shave it all down, how to get to where we are now without all the excess money, that the thousands and thousands of dollars, many thousands of dollars that we literally blew trying to figure it all out. So the course is it's really for everyone. It's for anyone who says, "Oh, I have absolutely no experience, but I want to start speaking. I have something I want to talk about." So if you're a complete newbie and you have no idea where to begin, this is excellent. And it's also wonderful for people that are like, "You know what? I've been at it for a while, but I cannot crack the nut of how do you make money? How can I create income from doing broadcasting or speaking?" And we really walk people through how to do that, because I think that's I think, Mark, there's a big misconception. People see YouTubers and they think it's so easy, right? And we do, it's like we do this and we do everything else, and we have other income coming in, or people don't realize that, like us, right? YouTubers, this is what we do full time. This is our full-time occupation. We live, breathe, eat, sleep what you're seeing right now. And I think a lot of people don't really realize that.
And the other big part about this is that while we're such advocates of this, Mark, is the benefit of people being able to really start to create that divine self. Look, there's a real thing happening right now. Like this thing on people's face. that's stopping people from talking, which is stopping people from releasing their throat chakra, opening their throat chakra, which is stopping them from being able to manifest, which is stopping them from being able to connect with their divine source. These things are blocking. What we're doing right here is staying us connected, is keeping us connected in the stream of consciousness that we need to be in right now, because we're literally talking through it. I mean, like even right this second, I mean, it's like, wow, you feel when you're in that stream of consciousness. If you got that on your mouth, or even if you don't and you just don't have an outlet, get in the game, get yourself an outlet, start talking. And this is one thing I will always say, and this is so passionate for me. I truly believe when people start to do and really take a look at, getting into their own show, starting to work on it, or starting to talk publicly like this, they will not recognize themselves in 30 days or less. And I mean that in a positive way. They'll be like, I was that person. I was that person.
I used to do that.
I used to do that. You mean
Yeah.
I have this? I mean, you're getting, I have not, look, we're both business people, Mark. All of us are, you know what I mean? It's like, we know if there's something out there, we all would have found it. I can't find a better way to really get connected to source and to manifest what you want in life than what we do.
But all of what you said is bringing up lots of things, and absolutely right. And when I was called to make my course, I was like, really? Do people really want to know about what I know about right now? Because I'm talking about spirituality, I'm talking about SRA, I'm talking about what's going on in the world. Why would they want to know that? And it was such a loud calling to do it. And what I know, I come at it from a different angle to you, because I didn't start. I mean, I've been making videos on the internet since 2005, but all my videos back then were business videos, and it was like very scripted. It's got to read the scripts, got to do it all like that, got to be presented correctly. And when I started this channel, I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing, and I was like, very deliberately did not bring any of that world into this channel. I was just like, I've just got to speak. I can't not speak. And I think I've done 250 shows since then. It's ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still a part-time podcaster. I still have a business in the day, and I've got 5 kids. So I'm still doing this part-time, but I love it. It's, I've always been a communicator, but only since this started happening did I really start communicating what was truly in my soul and in my heart, and getting that out. And it's the best thing I've ever done for myself.
It's liberating. It's literally freeing. It feels like you're taking the shackles off, and you're just speaking freely, and you feel liberated, and you feel joy. And Mark, what I really love about doing this show is you could be having a really crappy moment, or something's just like, something's rubbed you the wrong way, and the second the camera goes on, all that just dissolves. Exactly. You're like, I'm upset.
Yeah, man.
What was I angry about?
Right. Like, look, we're a couple, right? So, there's going to be the stuff that goes on in the couple's growth.
I didn't realize.
But when we talk through these shows and get through it, it's like whatever was there, it's almost like we forget about what was that even about. It's like it just vanishes. Like you vibrate it out. That's the other thing. We talk about manifestation, and you gotta vibrate, you gotta match that vibration. And I don't think the issue is ever getting to that vibration. I think the issue is sustaining the vibration, right? So, what better way to sustain it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, I worked in theatre for quite a while, and there was a director once who was telling this story, and I was complaining about having a cold and I couldn't do the rehearsal. And he said, "Don't be ridiculous. Let me tell you about Jeremy Brett." And Jeremy Brett played Sherlock Holmes in the UK on TV for about 10 years. And the guy was dying of cancer, but he still managed to perform. And they'd all be stood on the set at Granada TV waiting for him to come out of the trailer, thinking that, his doctor's just been in there saying he's nearly dead. And he burst through the door dressed as Sherlock Holmes going, "Dr. Theatre, dear boys, Dr. Theatre." And then give a great performance and then collapse afterwards. That's what it's like. You vibrate your way through it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But when I started my course, I was like, I mean, I come from a slightly different. I'm not teaching people necessarily how to broadcast an interview, but what I am doing is getting them to come out of their shell and giving them some internet knowledge to help them, and then help them create a product. So my course and your course are kind of like this.
Yeah,
exactly.
They kind of complement each other, and I think most of the guys on my course should do your course, and I'd like to do your course as well. But what's the amazing thing that I'm trying to get to is the people on the course found their own power through the course. And I wrote down here that when you started talking about it, the fact that you just did it organically, which is what I did. I just sort of thought, if I sit and try and plan a course out, it'll take me 6 we're back. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hey, there you go.
That is so strange. It literally just disappeared.
Huh.
We'll take that. We'll take a it's very weird.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of shit that's been happening to me all week. I told you about the phone, the card.
Yeah.
And then literally the whole screen just went blank and it said no internet. I ran around the house going, what's going on? And they're like, no, everything's fine. I was like, what? So anyway,
you see this whole internet thing, it's like a luxury once realized is now a necessity for us all. You know what I mean? It's like amazing, isn't it?
I was mid-flowing something there. I was quite enjoying that. Yeah, I was talking about the fact that when you do something organically,
yeah,
instead of doing the whole prep thing, which is the traditional way of teaching things, preparation, slides, editing, blah, blah, blah. When you just do it and you make something on the fly, you get all the best stuff. All the best stuff comes out.
Yes.
Man, we couldn't get there without it because it was just fine. Like I said, finally, it was like, because we
tried it for 10 years. We couldn't do it.
Back and forth. I mean, I would literally get with people. I'm like, hey, can you help me write an outline? You're good at this. Can you write me the bullet points? Can you write me this? And I'm like, and I couldn't. Then they're like, oh, how much time can we spend together? I'm like, I don't want to do that either. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit with someone like that and be like, feel like I'm in a ghostwriting session. So I was like, I just was like, that's where we just decided, hey, this was it. And it worked out fantastic. It was organic. It was spirit divine. You know what I mean?
Fast.
It was fast. It was just boom. It just went in there. The energy with the people, they were there. It just worked out. I mean, we just finally had the course god shine on us.
You know? And also you get this energy, right, that you can't capture when you do the whole prep thing.
Exactly.
For sure.
I mean, I'm kind of homeschooling 3 kids at the moment. I set up 2 schools with my ex-wife and a couple of other people in Morocco. I've done I wouldn't say that I was the best person to teach kids because I'm usually a little bit short on patience. But my kids said to me the other day that the best lesson they've ever had in their entire life was when Dada taught French, and I can hardly speak French. And I said, really?
Wow.
Why? I said, why was that? He said, because you came in and you spent half an hour teaching us the French word for chicken was having a crap and then going for a lie down. I was like, oh, poulet. Okay. So they never forgot it. And then we spent the rest of the French lesson watching Inspector Clouseau, which is obviously proper French. So they never forgot that, which is good. But it is, I think it's this is very important for the future of education because you said earlier, Jay, about when the kids are wearing the mask. I mean, this is one of the things in Ireland that's really woke a lot of people up. Is when the Irish government said, right, kids are going to wear masks in school now under the age of 11, and thousands and thousands of people went, fuck no, get away from my kids. Now the school backed down a little bit and said, okay, kids can come in, don't have to wear masks. But now you've got kids going in without masks with kids that have masks, and then they're the odd one, which is even worse. To some degree, because they're psychologically now they've segregated within the school.
Totally segregated, yeah.
And I think for me, and this relates to what we're doing, is somebody said to me, well, how do you set up a school? I said, you have to just rethink everything from the ground up. Instead of trying to do a better version or do your version of what's already there, you've just got to rethink it. What does a kid need? Well, what does a student need? What do people need? And they just need to have passionate people who have experience share with passion stuff that is useful to them in life.
How simplistic is that?
I mean, like these kind of things, like we've worked through life to get to this point. Here we are at our stages in life doing this. But imagine if the kids today were taught this as part of a curriculum of how to really get to your level of confidence. I mean, think about the critical thinking skills they would learn, the confidence level that they would get to.
How about, let's try this one on. How about if they just taught for 5 minutes a day in school, close your eyes and focus. I love me. I love me. I love everything about me. I love my arms. I love my eyes. I love my hair. I love my feet. I love my friends. I love my parents. I love everything. If they just did that with these little beautiful beings for 5 minutes a day, imagine how the world would shift.
But you're 100% right, man. You have to rethink it. You have to rethink, and you can't just take a look. What's that version that I would do? You're right. I totally align with you on that. Has to be that way.
Yeah. So one of my kids is like, well, we have to go to school and we have to get these exams and we have to do. And I said, why? And he went, so we can get a job. I said, why do you want a job? Because you're supposed to get one. I'm going, why? Who says so?
Yeah.
And it's like, because my life's been all about, the last proper job I had was in the military 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having to go to work.
It would really be tormenting. It would be.
I know some people watching this are now going to be pissed off with me. Well, it's all right for you. No, I decided. I made the decision. It's a choice. Everything's a choice, and people don't get this. And I wrote down here about so recently, for example, I co-funded and co-produced a film by Nick Alvea, which is the Pervywood thing on Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, congrats.
Right. And I was very happy to support Nick because he's a great talent. And I think he's going to be one of the biggest voices in the world in the future.
He's a great guy.
And I'm very, very happy to work with him in any way that I can. And then I put it up on Facebook. By the way, Jay, if you try to message me on Facebook, I'm completely locked out. I can't get in. So if you don't hear from me, I'm not being rude. And somebody put up, blah, blah, blah. This information should be free. And I just went, are you fucking for real? This guy's made this film, right? It takes weeks to do this. What is he supposed to do? Just work for free? Do you work for free? What the fuck are you talking about? Because that's one of the big things, right? When I remember when I first started reading David Icke's books, all the criticism was like, he's just in it for the money. I was like, what? Why would anybody stand up on a stage and say the Queen is a reptile? What is in it for them? And he did it for 15 years when nobody gave him anything, and he published his book himself. And if the guy makes some money off it, good on him. But I have a very weird in the UK. I don't know what it's like in the States as much. I don't think it's as bad in the States. I know it's not because it used to be an enterprise culture country. But in the UK and Ireland and places like this, where there's a huge amount of state intervention, where people have free social health and free health service, which is really not health service at all, and free this and free that. They're just so used to suckling on the nipple of the state and having free things that they got this sort of moral superiority that they believe everything should be free. If people are working hard and reaching millions of people and getting truth out and doing so, I'm all for them earning a living in a way that is done in integrity. Because the other thing is, it's a choice.
Absolutely, but that's the one element that people are really, really missing: mind, body, spirit, and prosperity. They all go together as one.
You know what happened when we started back into the YouTube thing back in 2020, was it 2020? And that's where 19 was it? Yeah, 19. And then so there were still a lot of the people that we were connected to that were making a lot of money on YouTube ads, right? They were actually monetizing their channels, right? And so tons of them. So we decided not to. We just felt like, hey, I don't think that model is going to live forever, so I don't want to be stuck there, kind of thing like that. So we just decided not to. So we did our own model. But what happened was, even here in the States, Mark, we still had a lot of people hey, well, this information's free, because what happened was it was never free. It's just that people were making so much money monetizing their shows, and they were telling everybody, oh, this should all be for free, even here in America, right? But then what happened? One day, people woke up, and next thing you know, hey, that check stopped coming to them. All of a sudden, those same people were reaching out to people like us and saying, now, how do you do that formula again? How was that again? What were you doing again? Can you show us that? So you see what I'm saying? It was just like there was a lot of branding on that because of that. It was just money was just being redirected. Nothing was free. It was just being redirected from some other source. Someone was paying the bill, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I always chose never to have YouTube monetize my channel.
Yeah.
Because I see that as just as bad as taking handouts from the state.
Exactly.
It's like you've got no control over it. It's handed out. They're in control, not you. You build up the traffic, then they have full control, and then they pull the plug whenever they want. That is the exact opposite of being sovereign.
Exactly.
And it's so unhealthy to live like that. I mean, imagine living like that. Oh, I built up this to this, and imagine being like, boom, it's not there this month, or it's not there whenever. That's just a terrible that's going to mess with your psyche.
Absolutely. And this is why when I started my course, the first thing I knew I needed to teach was how to get over your issues with money, because everybody has issues with money.
Yes,
whether they realize it or not, they've
Yep.
got them. And so I spent a lot of time. That's the very first thing that I teach people of mine. Spirituality and money, right? It's or the constant thing. And I've tried for many, many years to help people that are doing good work get online and then generate an income from it. And then they just go, no, I can't charge for it. Well, how do you expect to pay? How do you expect to keep? You can't keep doing it. You know, and a lot of healers, for example, in 30 years of healing, if they saw 8, 10, 20 people a week, 80 people a month, 1,000 people a year, maybe, 20 years, 20,000 people. You could do that in a day on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is what I try to get across to people. And if you're doing it full time like you guys are, good luck. Please earn a living, because the more successful you are, the more amazing guests you get on and the more information gets out. And people just don't get that. What's your take on that? Because I talk about the fact that I studied economics for 5 years. Nobody told me about the fractional reserve banking system. When I found out about it, I was really like, what? Everything I just studied is completely fucking irrelevant. It's all a lie. And then I was like, forget that. That's why I'm telling my kids, don't go to university. Don't even go to school. It's a waste of fucking time. Right? Because you're just getting your head full of shite. And money is at the core of this, because people literally don't understand what it is.
It's so funny that you said that, because I have a cousin who's graduated from Wharton School of Business in Pennsylvania, Ivy League school. And he did not know that the Federal Reserve was not federal.
There you go.
So
it's just the conditioning of it,
And he didn't believe me. I bought a book to prove it to him.
Mark,
he fought me on it.
The theory I have with that, as far as the healers, because again, spiritually raw, we have that same kind of conversation with so many people. False light workers. This is what I've been able to determine. They are not they're tapping into a very different stream of consciousness, because that consciousness is not from the light. That consciousness saying you should not prosper, that consciousness saying that you should not be able to reap the rewards of living in a 3D and because you're here on this planet. That's not in my opinion, that is not of a god or goddess or friendly entity at all. That is dark energy flowing through someone's mind. And when people talk like that and they say, oh no, that's not this, you shouldn't prosper for this, that is definitely every vibration I got. I'll give you an example. Like when we see that, because we do, like you,
it's very prominent in the spiritual community.
We get it very prominent in the spiritual community. But when we see those comments like that, I just don't even respond, man. I delete and block them. Delete, block. I just want, I don't want that in my life, because that's not coming from a good place. Someone may be interpreting it as a good place, but they're being hoodwinked, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've also got a massive issue with dogma of any kind, and the spiritual community is no better than the Catholic community or the Muslim community when it comes to being dogmatic. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing being dogmatic? Live and let live, brother. And this, what you just said about the false light, this really crystallized for me when I was doing my advanced Reiki course, and we were being taught about the symbols and this, that, and the other. And I went to the teacher. I said, have you ever considered that these guys tapped into something that wasn't actually good?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Look at my certificates. Look at this. I've been teaching people this for 30 years. I said, yeah, but if I was a bad guy and I understood the spiritual realm, that's exactly what I'd do. I think, right, there's some sheep over there that aren't behaving. Let's just give them what they think they want and make it seem like it's what they want, and then we control them. And I had that epiphany ages ago, and I've stuck to it ever since, because I've been, this whole spiritual journey of our own individual lives is all about intuition and getting to the truth of everything. That's what we're all connected by, right? And it's especially in the last 2 years, discerning between who's good and who's bad and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, man. Let's be real about it. For whatever reason, we're here right now in this moment, right in this present. We're here right now. So we work with what we got to work with right now. And part of this earthly society is we got to eat, you know, and you need this to pay for food. You need this to pay for life. You need this to do this, you know, join this. And I think there's such a sale or such a message for people of like escapism is, I guess, is the best way for me to describe it, man. It's like, hey, don't worry, we're going to go over here. Get over here, and that's going to happen in a month. So you just relax for a minute. Don't worry about it, and don't worry about what your stuff that you got to take care of here. So there's a lot of that going down, which I think people need to use a little bit more discernment on that, you know, and realize that we are here right now. You know what I mean? When we get to where we're getting consciousness,
and we do need income,
but we do need income, but we are here right now. Just run with it and enjoy it, and learn about what there's a blessing here where we're at. We don't live in I don't believe we live in a horrible place. We don't. There's horrible things that happen, but I don't believe we live in a horrible place. I mean, we you know, there's things around.
There's beauty everywhere.
There's beauty everywhere, but we gotta not allow ourselves to be taken away from it.
You know, I cannot tell you, especially when we first started, for probably the first year, actually, we got blasted. How dare you, you know, because of the membership site, we would cut the videos half on YouTube and the full show on the membership site. How dare you call yourself, you're not spiritual. You would be doing it all for free. If you're not, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards, right? They love throwing the "you're not spiritual" in our face. That's exactly why we call the course Broadcasting Riches, not broadcasting almost making it or broadcasting broke. It's broadcasting riches, specifically for that reason, to show people that you've been fed a serious lie. And the God that we connect with, the highest source, whatever you want to call that source energy, the great creator, whatever that is to you, does not want you broke. They don't want you, the dark forces, the dark energy wants you fat, unhealthy, broke, and miserable, right? The God, the energy source creator wants you living in love, living in prosperity, living in a great abundance of everything. So if you're still on that train of, oh, you can't be spiritual and go, or you have to be spiritual and broke, you're on the wrong train. You are following the wrong source. You are following the quote, wrong God.
Yeah, and I share this with our sisters and brothers, Mark. I say, look, if you're a healer and you're really spiritual like that, you have an obligation not to be like, well, I shouldn't charge for this. I shouldn't charge for this. Your job is to help people have a better existence. If you've tried this on and you say, I'm a healer, I'm this, I'm going to help you do this, your job is then to be able to talk like that. So make sure you're doing it and not putting your own values on them, because that's not fair to them, because they're looking for you for advice. Just really speak from that place, and don't be afraid. You know, there's a reason 90% of the people we see out in the world, maybe more, just feel like they're suffering or they have without. And that's just because of what we're taught. I mean, look at the formula, everybody. Numbers don't lie, okay? You look at people that are not making it. That scenario should be reversed. 90% of the people should be prospering. Look at what we've been taught. There's something wrong. Wake up a minute and find out how we can just get there together and think about all those things that we've been taught and try on doing the opposite.
Well, you know what, also too, how do you get prosperous? How do you create prosperity? You have to create it, right? We are creators. That's what we do. We are all creators as earthlings in the suit right now, right? Spiritual beings in the earth suit. We are all creators. So if you want prosperity, you must create prosperity. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, they've done a very good number on most of us, and I think I've really enjoyed seeing people waking up to the fact that, hey, yeah, what? Yes, I can. You know, I got an email this morning from a guy who's just created a course on finding your ancestors, and he's really proudly said, I've been at it for 3 months. Here it is. Here's my tripwire. Here's my course. Here's my thing. And I said, come on the show. Let's talk about it. Use me as an example, because you know, that's amazing that you've done this. And, you know, I believe everybody can do this. Everybody's got something. My son left school last year because he's had enough of this. And everybody was like, oh, you won't get the exams. You won't get into university. And he's like, so what? He's just done 3 courses. He's just passed 2 exams that he wanted to do, that weren't being forced on him. He walks around the house singing.
Aww.
Right? he's got a schedule. I've taught him how to do a schedule. He gets up, he does his exercise, he does a bit of housework, he does a bit of learns how a new recipe, a couple of new recipes every week, so he knows how to cook. He's learning, he's following his passion, and every day I see this growth, and it's just
that's fantastic.
You can't put a price on that.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
Fantastic. You know,
it's beautiful.
We've never been to, I mean, I barely graduated high school. I think because my dad did dry cleaning for the principal is how I got out of high school properly. You know what I mean? And that's it. And that's all I had. And you didn't go to college, right?
I hated school.
So I hated school too, man. I just didn't like it. And I just went in and I just like, boom, went right into the world. And you know, it is what it is.
Listen, the only reason I was the naughtiest kid in school by far. Right, I was always out of class, sent out of class, especially in junior school. I was normally showing my willy under the desk to the girls. And then in secondary school, I was nicknamed Trouble by the science teacher. But then, I wanted to fly planes in the military, in the RAF. So I was like, oh shit, I've got to get these exams. So the only reason I went to carry on with school is because I had to get these bloody exams so I could escape from so it was my route out. So I did end up studying hard, but then I got really sucked into the system, which is why I was so pissed off when I found out that everything I'd learned about economics was a load of crap, because that was the subject I ended up pursuing. And I'm telling my kids and all their friends, I said, look, if you do go through school, you're going to spend the rest of your life unlearning everything they've taught you, because everything they've taught you is based on lies. Everything. Your history lesson, your physics, your chemistry, it's all lies. So they're gonna have to undo it all. So
I love that you're saying that. I really, really love that you're saying that. It's such a great, refreshing way again to see, you know, as a parent, you know, just you saying that and like, hey, don't
living it. You're living
just because it seems like it's proper to go, it's not. You know what I mean? And you know, we got our son he's going through medical school, and then decided last week, what month was it?
Yeah,
switching to business school. So that was cool. I was like, oh, that's great. We were really happy about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had that. Yeah, really. We were like, oh, this is great. You know, we're encouraging him, right? But he was like, oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to business school. I'm like, this is great. So, you know, thank you. I'm like, have you looked at crypto stuff? I mean, I'm trying to give him, like, you know, because he's always been in that, you know, he's got a little bit of a different mindset. He's really into the books, right? And so it's good to see that.
We've got to encourage them to follow the passions, follow the way they want to, follow the way they want to do it as well. I mean, I'm not going to, you know, one of my kids loves maths, loves going to school, I'm not going to stop that, because it's their choice.
Yeah.
But I'm there with another opinion, and I'm there with my arms, and I'm, you know, ready to
exactly. That's what you got to do.
Because that's what we're supposed to be, guides and teach them from our experience, but let them make their own mistakes at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you know, not going to school and wearing this. I mean, this has been such an extreme. I mean, a friend of mine went to the local school here, trying to get a catering contract, and said to me, "How do the kids go? How do they survive?" I was like, "What, the mask?" He said, "No, it's freezing." And I said, because the headmaster's got all the windows wide open. It's 2 degrees, right? Wow. The kids are gonna die of pneumonia, not fucking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nuts. We were walking around our mall. We went to the shopping mall, and I see him. You know what the signs say everywhere is 80% of diseases come from your hands. I'm like, but nobody's pushing the glove industry. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, I think I'm a little bit more acceptable, at least, you know what I'm saying? But that signs everywhere. It's really weird how they just do whatever to, you know, just throw off people on their psyche.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know how the middle of this video is going to work with the breakdown that happened in the middle, but I'll check it out. But you guys watching, I'll put a link there on the screen, TMAS, which is the Mark Attwood Show, .tv/broadcasting riches. That takes you to April and Jay's course. Go and check it out at least. And if you're doing my course, I think this looks like a very good fit. If you guys are doing that, and maybe we should do some cross seminars.
I think 100,
that's a great idea.
1,000,001% we should do that, because you're absolutely right. It's a
perfect marriage.
It is. It's peanut butter and jelly. You know what I mean?
It works.
It really does work. I mean, you know, you're bringing it out. You know, we've got a solution. I mean, there's different parts there that seem to be working there for people, and we all need each other right now. That's all we got is each other in this journey called life, isn't it?
Well, it's all about for me. It's all about collaboration. When I started teaching, I'm looking around for one of my courses. When I started, here's one. When I started teaching, like this course, for example, which is an 8-hour course on DVD. Children, this is what we used to watch things on. I might as well get out a tape from the 70s. What is that, Dada? It's a tape. What does it do? It plays music, but why has it got all that tape in it? It's hard to explain. Yeah, when I did this, it was like 2,000 quid to buy this off me, and it was like I'd be like, I'm not telling you what's in it, and but I never really understood all that, which is why I never really became very well known as an internet marketer, because I watched most of the guys doing it, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like all this fake scarcity, and I've got this secret sauce, and it's all about getting people excited to the point where they can't wait to buy it, and then and I've done it. You know, I've spent 20 grand on a course before. I sat there waiting for the countdown time, and they're like, "I've got it. I'm in. Just spent 20 grand. Yeah, but I'm in." And and you do get. I got some good information out of some of those things, but the way that I see it now is just you know, if it's frequency matching, right? If people like me, they'll come on my course. If they don't, they don't. So what?
It's
totally frequency matches. That's it. It's an energy thing, man. It's beautiful to look at it that way, though. It really takes it from the way, like you said, like with the DVD worlds and everything like that. And nice job, by the way. That was pretty still impressive. But the DVD world, that linear thinking, you know what I mean, to an energy thing now. Like everything's, you know, the ones that are there are like, you know, the people that like you, the people that like your style, the people that resonate with you, their energy is going to be drawn to that. And similarly, our energy gets drawn to things. And, you know, it just is it's that circle of life, you know, we go through.
Which is, again, back to broadcasting, exactly what happens. That's how you get an audience.
Yeah.
And that's how you keep an audience, and that's how it goes. And you look, you know, 10 years you've been at it, and you've done an amazing job. And it's great to see you teaching other people everything you know.
Likewise, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Please continue the work.
Thank you.
And I'll see you for a swim in Florida one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I've got my 6-pack and I can put on a pair of trunks again.
You're right there. You're right there.
When you get here, man, we'll go on a regimen. I'll tell you. I'll give you my routine. It's fast too.
Yeah, I'll hold you to that. Well, take care, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you later.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. See you soon, guys. Bye.